Hi, Rafael. How are you?
Hi, how's it going? I'm
Good,
good. What
good.
about you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I'm a little exhausted because I just finished shoveling, but I'm good. You're calling me from Brazil?
Yeah, I'm from Brazil.
Nice.
Actually, I'm living in the capital of Brazil, Brasilia.
Brasilia. Okay, okay. Yes, I know Brasilia. So you
Oh,
don't know
really?
anything about shoveling?
Shoveling? No, I have no idea.
Okay, no worries. That's okay. Shoveling snow is when you have a lot of snow that's fallen on the ground,
Oh my
and you
gosh.
have to use a shovel to get the
Uh,
snow out. So that's
I don't
shoveling
know what it
snow.
is.
Yeah, because
I don't
it's
know.
very warm in Brazil, shoveling
Oh, yeah.
snow.
Oh, amazing.
So did you
So
always grow up in Brasilia?
oh no, I'm from Amazon. In fact,
Oh, the
I
Amazon.
just I moved here like 1 year ago, and I'm about to move again. I'm gonna go to the south of Brazil in March, so I'm really really excited.
In March?
Yeah, yeah.
Where are you going?
Rio Grande do Sul.
Okay.
It's
I
in the
don't
south
think
of
I know
Brazil.
that one.
It's new. It's nearly to Argentina, I guess, Uruguay.
Let me see, because I was in Brazil for 1 month in October.
Oh,
Argentina. I was in Brazil for 1 month in October. So I went to Rio de Janeiro, of course. And then I went to Sao Paulo. Then I went to Campinas.
oh
Then
my
I
gosh.
did Paraty, Ilha Grande. And then I went to Buzios and
Oh
then
my God.
Arraial de Cabo. But that's it. I didn't have time to go to Salvador or Itacare or Pipa. I didn't have time. What is your
But
town called? You said you are moving to
Um, it's Novo Hamburgo, the
November.
city.
Oh, I see here. I see. Yes. Are you excited?
Oh yeah, totally. So over there, I don't think it's snow, but it's really really cold. So
Very cold.
I'm not really used to the to be in places where it's cold, you know. So probably
Yeah.
I'm gonna suffer a little bit.
Okay. It's okay. When I was in Brazil and it was 10 degrees, 10 degrees Celsius in Sao Paulo, I was very cold. I was very cold because you're not used to it. You know, in Rio and Colombia, it's very, very hot. So, and are you moving for work or?
No, I have my sister. She lives there,
Oh,
so I'm gonna visit her, but probably I'm gonna stay.
of course, of course. And where did you learn your English? Because most of the people in Brazil, when I went to Brazil, don't speak English.
So, in fact, I started to learn English like 2017. At first, it was because I wanted to blow a girl away. You know, she studied English back then, and I wanted to do something to surprise her.
Uh,
And it didn't go well as planned. You know, I didn't get the girl, but at least I kept going and I kept studying English.
that's
And
good.
here I am. So here I am. I like to study language, you know. I'm trying to improve my English, and also I'm learning French, Italian, German.
That's good. That's a lot of languages. Which one is the hardest?
German for sure.
Yes, even me.
But
I huh?
in fact, since I'm being able to speak English, I'm kind of a lot of words that are just similar, you know, in German and English. You know, you've got a
Oh
lot
yeah.
of different things. So yeah, but it's really really hard, you know.
Yeah.
I guess the gender and also yeah, there are a lot of things that makes the language hard, you know. But
Of course.
you say you did come to Brazil, so do you speak Portuguese?
No, so I no fala português. Okay, I don't speak Portuguese. I was in Mexico, Colombia, and Argentina for almost maybe 8 months. So when I was in Brazil, I had to speak in Spanish, and then the Brazilian people would respond back to me in Portuguese. The first week was very difficult for me because Portuguese is very different from Spanish, but then some words are
Oh, oh,
almost the
I
same.
don't think so.
Yeah, and then some words are almost the same in Portuguese and Spanish, just the pronunciation is different. So it was a bit challenging, but then I started to understand a little bit.
But why did you come to Brazil?
Because I was in South America, I wanted to visit Brazil, see the country. I like to travel. I love to travel. And my friend was also going to Brazil. So I was in Colombia at that time. So when she said, "Hey, I'm in Brazil on vacation for 2 months, come see me." So I went to go visit her for 1 month. She's from France. So me and her traveled together in Brazil for a little bit. And then she went to Itacare, Salvador in the north. And then I went to Argentina after. It's wonderful. Brazil is a very nice country. The people are nice.
Yeah,
Um,
I think you should give it a try to learn Portuguese. You know,
I should, I should, I should. But you know, it was a bit of a shock when I came to Brazil, because I never really heard Portuguese before. So it was a shock. But
and
for you, I know for you, Rafael, what is your goal? Are you looking to learn English so that you could maybe work in the tourism industry in Brazil? Or maybe you want to travel, or maybe you want to move to an English speaking country? What is your goal?
the last one, I'm trying to improve the language I'm learning, you know, especially
Yeah.
English because I think it's the most important one.
Hmm.
And in the future, maybe I don't have the exact place yet, but I wanna move abroad, probably Europe, you know, since I'm learning like four languages. And yeah, that's it. I don't have anything decided, you know. I'm just I'm just working, I'm studying, I'm saving as much as possible,
That's
and
good.
yeah, and that's it.
Where
But
where do you
I
where
want to do something
sorry?
related to I want to do something related to language, you know.
That's good. That's good. I think you're doing a great job. I mean, learning 4 or 5 languages all at the same time is a challenge, but it's doable. Especially if English, French, Italian, Spanish. There's from Latin, it's Latin, so it's a bit similar. And I think you'll find similarities. And then, especially if you're looking to move abroad, you have to know the language. It's so important for you to know. It will be easier for you if you know the language. What do you do for work?
I work at a supermarket, you know, like a security, and but I'm gonna. It's my first time working at a supermarket, and I hope it's the last one. You know, I
I
didn't
know.
like my you know, I didn't like it a lot. It's different from the past works that I had. So
Mhm.
yeah, I wanna do something in the future related to language, you know. So I'm gonna travel now in March, and I'm gonna try to find something more like that.
Of course. And you speak English. So, I mean, your English, of course, is not native like me or fluent, but you're improving and I can understand you and you're communicating back with me. If you don't like the supermarket job, you could find something in the tourism industry in Rio or Sao Paulo or Buzios or anywhere where there's tourists, you can work there temporarily. It'll help you practice your English with native people because there's a lot of tourists like me who go to Rio or maybe sometimes some of us go to Sao Paulo. So in the hostels, you can work there or maybe the restaurants. And then after that, once you save enough money, you can go abroad and live abroad.
I hope so. And hey, I'd like to ask you a question.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of videos, and today I saw a guy. He was claiming he's learned English in 6 months. You know, I know that's not something impossible, but I think it's something doable. You know. So, what is your opinion? Do you think it's what people should do if they wanted to learn a language in 6 months, especially English? And do you think it's possible?
When you say learning a language, do you mean speaking like you or speaking like, because you are fluid. When I say like you are fluid. Or do you mean speaking like a native?
So maybe like me, because in the video he was like speaking a flawless English. He had no accent, and yeah, it was just amazing. He said in the video he did it in 6 months. Of course, I know it's hard. Maybe some people are able to do that, but
It
yeah.
depends on how much time you are dedicating to the language. So, how much time are you dedicating per day, per week, per month, right? So, when you say 6 months, when he says, sorry, 6 months, it could mean so many things. He could have been 6 months, but you're learning 1 hour at least per day, of course, or 2 hours per day. It's doable. But in 6 months, if you're only doing lessons twice a week, I don't think so. I don't think you can do twice a week lessons for 6 months. I don't think it's enough to sound like a fluent native speaker, because the more you practice, the more you will retain, remember, and the more it'll be easier for you to speak it. So if you don't practice often or daily, and you're only practicing, once a week or twice a week, it's not enough. Like for me, when I was in Latin America, I spoke Spanish every day. So it was helping me practice and get more comfortable. Now I've been in Canada for almost 3 weeks. I didn't get to practice my Spanish, and now I can feel my confidence in Spanish is going down. I'm forgetting some words, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want to lose the language. So only if you practice it every day, it's doable. Also, Raphael, I don't know if you do this, but I would also highly, highly recommend that you listen to English podcasts.
So, in my case, I'm doing a lot of listening. I think that's the most important thing when it comes to language learning.
Yeah,
I
do
try to do I try to do at least 30 minutes in each language. But in English, I do like 1 hour per day.
that's good.
And yeah, I think since January 1st, I did like maybe 20 hours of English. A
Wow,
lot, a lot.
that's
I'm
so
watching
that's
a lot
good.
of I'm watching
That's
a
where
lot of
you're
people.
more
Yeah,
comfortable in speaking it, because some students of mine, they're very choppy. Choppy, right? So they are like, and then they're thinking, pause, and then they say another word and then pause. You're a bit more
eh,
fluid.
in fact, I'd say that my listening it's in a good level. It'd be nearly to upper intermediate to fluent, my listening. But this year I decided to improve my speaking too. That's why I started to take Cambly lessons.
Of course. And can you share with me what you think is your main weakness in English and what you think is your strength, or
Oh,
what you would
my
like to improve on and what you think is your strength?
My strength, I totally go for listening. I'm able to. I just do stuff in English, like I'm able to watch movies, TV show, listen to
Okay.
music, and it's not a problem. Sometimes I'm even gonna understand 100%, almost. And yeah, my weakness, something that I never did was speak. I'm kind of
Comfortable in speaking. Okay.
I'm trying to get
Improve.
to improve more. So I'm doing a lot of Cambly lessons, and yeah, I'm liking. I think I'm doing great. I'm speaking a lot. I'm able to say whatever I want. I'm able to
Mhm.
understand, and yeah, I think I'm doing great so far.
I would also recommend, sometimes on YouTube, they even have videos on YouTube or online that have articles, or I can send some after. So on YouTube, what they do is they have some videos. It's like the Boston reading language, but what they do is they have a paragraph, okay, and they read it out loud. They read it out loud. The audio reads it, and then you can listen to it, and then you can pause it, and then you read it on your own. You're going to read the video,
Like,
you're going to read it, and at the same time, you're listening for the pronunciation, so that when you're speaking, you're pronouncing like a native speaker. And then after that, what I would also recommend is when you're reading any article, any word that you don't know or a new word, like I want you to read maybe twice a week, a small paragraph, even if it's this big, read it. And any new word that you never saw before and you see in the paragraph, write it down. Write it down and make a vocabulary list. And then beside it, write the word in Portuguese, what it is in Portuguese. And then every day, review that word. Read that list that you're creating over time. Read it and memorize, because the
Yeah,
memorizing is what's going to help your vocabulary. So when you're speaking, your vocabulary is the most important thing when you're speaking, because if you don't know the words, you won't be able to speak. So if you're memorizing and writing the words and reading them, that's the best way you're going to learn new words,
I see, I see.
so
It
I
would be
would
like
recommend that. To add,
it,
you can speak right now, you're able to speak with me, but you need to keep adding new words to your vocabulary every day, so like, let's say, for example, retain. This word is retain. That means to keep, to be able to save. So you can say retain knowledge, right? And retain knowledge. Okay. So you can say words like, oh, I'm able to retain my knowledge. So when you say that, I'll say, oh, wow, he knows vocabulary. Retain, that's something that native speakers say, versus I'm able to keep my knowledge. Maybe someone like you will say, I can keep my knowledge. I know what you mean, but we don't use keep knowledge, right? So it's just for you
exactly.
to remember and learn. So I think you're going to do a good job. Just practice, practice. And then what you want in some other lessons, we can have more structure. We could read, like we'll share screens and I'll ask you to read. And then I'll ask you to explain to me what the paragraph means. I'll
Yeah,
say,
we can do
Raphael,
that.
can you read this? I'll say, can you read this? And then, okay, explain to me what is happening in the story, so then I can check how is his reading comprehension. And there's no bad answer. There's no bad
I
answer.
see.
And tell me
So,
about yourself. What are your favorite hobbies when you're not working? What do you like to do?
so in fact, I'm gonna have to go now. I have this little guy over
Oh,
here,
it's a Siamese
and
cat.
it's a cat.
The
It's a
Siamese.
cat, and
Siamese
yeah,
cat.
the famous cat. I have to give him food right now. He's
Yeah.
kinda, he's not gonna let me finish my class today.
No worries. He's
So
so hungry. That's so cute. How many months is
he's gonna
he?
5.
5 months. So did you find it on the street, or did you buy him, or did someone give it to you as a gift?
I adopted, he was
Oh,
from a friend of mine, so I decided to adopt him, and I love him,
what's his name?
It's cat.
Cat is his name? Oh.
I didn't give him a name.
Oh, when did you receive him?
Oh, like he was less than a month years old, a month years old.
Oh, one
Yeah,
month.
1 month, 1 month,
So not
and
1 month years old. So we don't say 1 month years old. No.
yeah,
So 1 month old.
1 month old, yeah,
Okay.
and yeah, so we have to say goodbye